Alright, so in this video, I am just going to be going through the 1.3 extra practice, solving equations. So in the first one here, the easiest thing to do since you only have two fractions is to go ahead and cross multiply. Doesn't really matter which way you start. Drop the equal sign in the center. Just make sure when you have two things like a binomial, it's going to go to everything. So that 8 is going to go to the x and the 3. I'm going to go ahead and do my restrictions here before I forget. So anytime I see an x, I set it equal to 0. So there's that one. I'm also going to do this one. So when I solve him, I get -3. So those are my two restrictions. Now I'm going to keep solving here. So I'm going to subtract 8x. Divide by 6. So I get x is equal to 4. So I look up there. I check. It is not one of my restrictions, so it's not extraneous. Okay, the next one here, the easiest thing to do with this is if I want to get rid of all the fractions, all I have to do is multiply by what's in the denominator, 5. Okay, but when you multiply an entire equation, just make sure you do every part of the equation. So I'm going to distribute it to everything. Okay, so if I take 6 divided by 5 times 5, I'm going to get 5 back. Okay, this here I'm going to get 11 back, and then I have to go past the equal sign. All right, there are no x's in the denominator, so I'm not going to have any restrictions for this one. All I'm going to do is solve it. So I've got x squared x in the number, which means I'm going to end up factoring. So I'm going to add 5. And now I'm going to snowflake. So a times c is 25. We got -11. Oh, wait, that's a 6. Here we go. I was going to say. So a times c is 30. -11, 6x and 6x. So I got -6, -5. So 6x minus 5. This one I can divide by 6. And x minus 1. Solve them both. So that one's pretty easy because I just have to add 1. This other guy here, I have to add 5. Divide by 6. Okay, and there weren't any restrictions for that one. So both my answers should be good. Okay, my next one here, if I need to, I can put it over 1. So I'm going to multiply all of my sets by what the LCD is. So what I need them all to have at the bottom is x minus 1. So I'm going to send it in. So x times x minus 1. Send it in. X times x minus 1. Send it in. 4x minus 3 times x minus 1. Put in the bottoms. Okay, if you go ahead and cancel, if I do my restrictions really quickly here before I keep moving. X minus 1, so I get x is equal to what? Alright, so keep moving here. This cancels, so I have x left. The 1 on the bottom doesn't do anything. That sucker canceled down here, so I have 4x minus 3. Now we're just going to solve. So to get rid of my parentheses so I can combine them, I'm going to distribute. X times x is x squared. This gets me -x. Okay, if I've got x squared x in a number, I'm probably going to end up factoring, so I'm going to bring it all to the x squared side and keep it positive. If I combine these, x minus x just cancels. So I'm really just bringing 4x and minus 3 over. So I'm going to subtract 4x. And I'm going to add 3. So a times c, b in the bottom, front guy, so -3, -1. And then I get x is equal to 3, x is equal to 1. Use my extraneous solution. So 3 is my only one that should work. Okay, because x is equal to 1 was one of my restrictions. Okay, the next one here, I need to see what they share so I can figure out what they multiply by. So if I snowflake x squared plus 5x plus 6, I get a times c, b in the bottom, front guy, so 3 and 2. So these really x plus 2x plus 3. So now I can go ahead and do my restriction. So I've got x plus 2 in the bottom, and I've got x plus 3 in the bottom. So I'm going to get -2 for the top one, -3 for the other one. So what do I want them all to have in the bottom? I need them all to have an x plus 2 and an x plus 3. So I'm going to multiply by x plus 2, x plus 3. So the first one, just let that 3 chill in front. Okay, I'm going to have x minus 1, x plus 2, x plus 3. And I'm going to erase the restrictions here so I can have a little bit more space. I'm just going to try to remember them. Is equal to 7 times x plus 2, x plus 3. Put all my bottoms in. And then we're going to go ahead and cancel. Right what we have left. So I have a 3 here. X minus 1, x plus 3. 7, x plus 2. Okay. Next up, get rid of the parentheses so I can start combining. Most likely you're going to have to factor. Okay, so the last side here, I'm going to have to delta rainbow. So I'm going to leave this 3 out here. X times x is x squared. This gets me 3x minus 1x minus 3. Single rainbow, 7x plus 14. All right, I'm going to bring it all to the left to keep that x squared positive, but I'm going to go ahead and combine some things on the left side to make it smaller. So this will give me a 2x. 3 minus 3 is going to cancel. All right, so I'm going to subtract the 7x over and the 14. And I actually forgot my 2x that was still over there. So I have x squared plus 2x is equal to 7x plus 14. So when I subtract my 7x, I get -5x. Now subtract my 14, and I should be able to snowflake this. Otherwise, quadratic formula, which is what I didn't think I needed to do. So 8 times c, b in the bottom, front guy, -7 and 2. So x plus 2, x minus 7. So when I solve it, I get -2, and I get 7, which -2 is one of my restrictions. So this is my extraneous solution. 7 is the only one that should work. Okay, so this one, biggest number to pick in the bottom. So I'm going to multiply all of these times 4. So this will give me 3x squared. This will give me 5x. This is half of 4 is going to be a 2. No x in the bottom, so I don't have any restrictions. So I'm just going to bring it all to the left by subtracting both of those guys over. And solve it. So I get 8 times c, b in the bottom, front guy. So -6 and 1. This is going to simplify to x minus 2. So if I solve this, I get 2. This one, I would have to subtract 1, divide by 3. No restrictions, so we can just put a check mark on it. The next one, I have 2 restrictions here. So I've got x minus 1, and I've got the other little x. So if I add 1, I get 1. The x equals 0, I don't have to solve. So that one came from this spot right here. The negative sign, I'm going to bump it up still. So I'm going to make a plus and actually attach it to that 2 so he's with something. And then I've got 2 fractions I'm going to cross multiply. So I'm going to send the x. X times 1 is just x. Drop the equal sign in the center. -2 times x minus 1. -2x plus 2. Add 2x to get 3x. Divide by 3. We get 2/3. We do a double check. It's not one of my restrictions, so it is good. Okay, I'm going to bump this negative sign up here. Let's see what we actually have to multiply by. So put them over 1 if I need to. So I've got -16, x and x. I'm still flicking that bottom left. So 4 and -4. Okay, your bottoms should always be in factored form to be able to do this. You always need to see what are we multiplying by. When we're multiplying, dividing, adding or subtracting or solving, your bottom should always be in factored form. So your first step is, can I get my bottom in factored form? And then figure out what am I actually trying to accomplish here. Okay, so in this one I'm trying to accomplish bringing them together and solving. So let's go ahead and do our restrictions. I've got x minus 4 and x plus 4. So 4 and negative 4. Okay, so when I multiply, I'm going to multiply all of it by x minus 4, x plus 4. So if I send it in, 12 times x minus 4, x plus 4, plus negative 24 times x minus 4, x plus 4, is equal to 3 times x minus 4, x plus 4. All over their bottoms. All right, so this one goes, both these go. So I've got a 12 left, a negative 24, x plus 4, and I got this whole set. So again, when we have three things like this, the guy on the outside, what we consider the GCF, stays. Do your double rainbow first, keep the 3 out there until like your last step. So I can simplify this side, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. So this gets to be negative 24x. And negative 96. 3 stays out here. X times x is x squared. Plus 4x minus 4x minus 16. Which I can combine those and cancel, so it gets a little bit smaller. So really what's over here, if I rewrite it, so first off I can simplify this. Our 12 minus 96 is a negative 84. And this is just x squared minus 16. Now I can send that little guy in. So 3x squared minus 48. I have that x squared x in number, which means I'm probably going to end up factoring. So I'm going to bring it all to that x squared side. So I'm going to bring the 84 to be with him, and I'm going to bring the 24x. So when you do this, make sure you write it in standard form. I've got x squared. I added 24x. I need to figure out what negative 48 plus 84 is, and it's 36. Okay, one thing to make this one easier, I could go into the snowflake, but it's going to be a pretty big snowflake. So if I go through my 3 rounds, is there a GCF? Is my front guy positive, and can I snowflake? There is a GCF I could take out to make all of this smaller, and it's going to be a 3. So in this instance, I'm not actually going to have the GCF sit on the outside, because if I divide him over, it's going to cancel. So if I divide everything by 3, just like in the first step when I can multiply everything times 4, it's kind of the same thing. So it's going to drop it to an x squared, an 8x, and a 12. Otherwise, if you snowflake it, you should still get the same answer. They're just going to be bigger numbers to deal with. So I've got 12, 8, x, so 6 and 2. If you snowflake and simplify, you should still get negative 6 and negative 2. Okay, now let's go up. Where's my restrictions? 4 and negative 4. So both of them are good to go. Okay, our last one here. I'm going to bump the negative up. I'm going to factor this guy here so I can actually make sure that I have common stuff. So 2, negative 3, xx, so negative 2, negative 1. So my restrictions then are 2 and positive 1 for all those bottoms. So I'm going to multiply all of them by x minus 2, x minus 1. So 4x times x minus 2, x minus 1 plus negative 5x times x minus 2, x minus 1 is equal to 2 times x minus 2, x minus 1. Fill in the bottoms. Cancel. So I have 4x times x minus 2 plus negative 5x times x minus 1 is equal to 2. So 4x squared minus 8x minus 5x squared plus 5x. All right, go ahead and combine these. So 4x squared minus 5x squared is negative 1x squared. Negative 8x plus 5x is 3x. All right, I got x squared, x to the number, so I'm going to end up factoring and snowflaking. I'm going to weirdly bring it out to the right because I want to keep that x squared positive. So I'm actually going to add the x squared over and subtract the 3x. Then write it in standard form. So I'm going to get x squared, I subtracted 3x, and he is a positive 2. So now when I snowflake, it's a lot prettier to look at this than when everything's negative. So this is going to be a negative 2, negative 1, which is going to give me a positive 2 and a positive 1. So my restriction, ooh, both of them, we got no solution. Neither of those works, they're both extraneous. Okay, so this answer is going to end up being no solution. Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah. Oh. Shoot, hold on. This was supposed to be a negative 3x. Negative 8x plus 5x is a negative 3x. So we're actually going to have something work. So add x squared, add 3x, positive 2. Let me re-snowflake here. And so 2 and 1. So negative 2, negative 1. So both of them work. If neither of them worked, it would have been no solution. I just messed up on the side.